Hi everybody. Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we will dive deep into the latest dramatic developments unfolding in Port Charles, where secrets, betrayals, and dangerous games are pushing our beloved characters to their limits. From Daisy Gilmore's chilling stalker situation to Sonny Corinthos' desperate attempts to maintain control, and Jen Sidwell's cunning manipulations, there's no shortage of tension. Let's explore the intricate web of relationships, hidden truths, and looming threats with fresh insights and expanded details on every twist and turn. Daisy Gilmore's stalker, a growing threat. In the serene yet often deceptive town of Port Charles, a dark shadow looms over Daisy Gilmore as her mysterious stalker appears ready to escalate their dangerous obsession. Whispers around the Quartermain mansion suggest that this unseen predator has been leaving cryptic messages and settling tokens of their fixation. Perhaps even a wilted flower or a torn photograph slipped under Daisy's door late at night. The air is thick with unease as Daisy, once confident and unshaken, now jumps at every creak of the old house. Her friends and family are on high alert, with some speculating that this could be the work of a long-forgotten enemy from her past, possibly tied to a scandalous affair or a buried secret from her early days in town. Could this be revenge for something Daisy herself has forgotten? As the week unfolds, expect heart-pounding moments where Daisy might come face-to-face with a clue that reveals more about her tormentor's identity. Will it be a familiar name, or a complete stranger with a sinister agenda? Lulu Spencer and Rocco Falconeri, a family secret unravels. Meanwhile, the Falconeri household is reeling from an emotional bombshell as young Rocco Falconeri confronts his mother, Lulu Spencer, with piercing questions about his origins. In a gut-wrenching exchange, Rocco's innocent curiosity turns to confusion and hurt as he probes whether the late Britt Westburn could be his biological mother. Lulu, with a heavy heart, must navigate this delicate conversation, reassuring her son that while Britt played a deceptive role by stealing an embryo and carrying him to term, Rocco is undeniably the child of Lulu and Dante Falconeri. The pain in Rocco's eyes speaks volumes as he grapples with the betrayal of withheld truths, feeling like a pawn in a game of grown-up secrets. Lulu's attempts to soothe him are met with resistance, as Rocco storms off, needing space to process the weight of his family's complicated history. Dante, upon learning of this confrontation, will likely step in with his own heartfelt explanations, perhaps sharing stories of his unwavering love for Rocco since the day he was born. But healing will take time, and the rift may deepen before it mends, especially as fingers point to Brooklyn Quartermain as the unintentional catalyst for Rocco's distress after he stumbled upon sensitive documents in her possession. Brooklyn Quartermain's misstep, facing Lulu's fury. Speaking of Brooklyn, her good intentions have paved a rocky path straight to conflict. Unaware that Rocco had glimpsed a file detailing Britt's involvement with a mysterious Ben Westburn, Brooklyn confides in Cody Bell about her desire to move past old grudges and abandon a revenge scheme that once consumed her. However, her naivety about the situation comes at a steep cost when Lulu discovers Brooklyn's indirect role in Rocco's turmoil. Picture the scene: Lulu, a protective mother bear, storms into the Quartermain living room, her voice trembling with rage as she accuses Brooklyn of endangering her son's emotional well-being. The confrontation could escalate, with past grievances between the women bubbling to the surface, the old rivalries over love, loyalty, and family ties adding fuel to the fire. Brooklyn, caught off guard, might plead for forgiveness, promising to make amends, but the damage is done. Will this clash fracture their fragile truce, or can they find common ground in their shared love for Rocco? The drama is only just beginning as alliances in Port Charles shift with every secret spilled. Giovanni Palmieri and Carly Spencer, unpacking Sonny's legacy. Across town, Giovanni Joe Palmieri seeks clarity on his connection to Sonny Corinthos by turning to Carly Spencer for an unfiltered perspective. In a candid heart-to-heart at Kelly's diner, under the comforting hum of clinking coffee cups, Carly paints a vivid portrait of Sonia, a man whose fierce devotion to family is matched only by the chaos his lifestyle breeds. She might recount harrowing tales of near-death experiences, like the fiery ordeal that scarred Michael Corinthos and Christina Corinthos Davis, as stark reminders of the dangers tied to Sonny's world. Yet, Carly could also highlight Sonny's softer side, sharing a memory of a quiet moment when he built a treehouse for his kids, showing Joe that love and peril are two sides of the same coin in the Corinthos clan. Joe, absorbing every word, begins to see the complex tapestry of loyalty and risk that defines his ties to Sunny. Will this newfound understanding draw Joe closer to his notorious relative, or push him to forge a safer path? The stakes couldn't be higher as Joe weighs his place in this volatile family dynamic. Anna Devane vs. Jen Sidwell, a battle of wits. In a darker corner of Port Charles, Anna Devane finds herself locked in a tense standoff with the cunning Jen Sidwell, whose knack for evasion rivals the slipperiest of criminals. During a grueling interrogation at the PCPD, Anna presses for answers about recent chaos in town, but Sidwell stonewalls with a smirk, refusing to confess to any wrongdoing. Instead, he spins a web of accusations, pinning the town's troubles squarely on Sonny Corinthos. Sidwell might slyly suggest that the devastating pub fire, falsely attributed to Selena Wu, was a retaliatory strike sparked by Sonny's own provocations. Did Sonny cross a line that ignited such destruction? Furthermore, Sidwell could escalate his blame game by linking Sonny to the tragic fate of Natalia Ramirez, urging Anna to redirect her scrutiny toward the mob boss rather than waste time on him. Anna, seasoned and skeptical, sees through Sidwell's deflections but lacks the concrete evidence to pin him down. This cat-and-mouse game promises more twists, as unseen players in Sidwell's orbit might soon emerge, revealing just how deep his influence runs in Port Charles' underbelly. Sonny Corinthos and Laura Collins, a plan to restore order. On the other side of this brewing storm, Sonny Corinthos meets with Laura Collins to devise a strategy to curb the escalating mob violence threatening to engulf the city. In a clandestine discussion at Laura's office, under the weight of flickering lamplight, the two powerhouses brainstorm ways to protect their community from the chaos Sonny's world often attracts. Laura, ever the pragmatic mayor, fears losing her position to the ambitious Ezra Boyle, whose campaign promises to clean up Port Charles could spell doom for her progressive initiatives. She might propose a public initiative to increase security around key hotspots, subtly funded by Sonny's resources, while Sonny counters with a more discreet approach, using his network to neutralize threats before they spiral out of control. Their alliance, though uneasy, reflects a shared goal: to shield the innocent from the crossfire of underworld conflicts. But with enemies lurking at every turn, can they truly dial down the mayhem, or will their efforts unwittingly invite a bigger storm? The future of Port Charles hangs in the balance as these titans navigate a treacherous path. Jocelyn Jax and Vaughn, or romance under fire. Back in the world of espionage and tangled hearts, Jocelyn Jax makes waves with a very public breakup with Vaughn, aiming to simplify their covert WSB mission. The stage split, performed with dramatic flair outside Charlie's pub for all of Port Charles to see, masks a deeper complexity. Flashback to the intense, genuine kiss they shared amidst the chaos of the recent fire. Sparks flew in a moment of raw vulnerability, blurring the lines between duty and desire. While Jocelyn insists their Fox romance must end to maintain focus on their assignment, whispers suggest that behind closed doors, their chemistry might continue to simmer. Imagine late-night strategy sessions turning into stolen glances, or coded messages hiding flirtatious undertones. Carly, ever the protective mother hen, is bound to grill Jocelyn about this messy situation, sensing that her daughter's heart might be at greater risk than her safety. Will Jocelyn and Vaughn keep their burgeoning feelings under wraps, or will love become their most dangerous mission yet? Sasha Gilmore Corbin, a shocking discovery. Finally, Sasha Gilmore Corbin stumbles upon a chilling revelation that sends shivers down her spine, likely tied to the enigmatic Daisy Stalker saga at the Quartermain mansion. Perhaps Sasha uncovers a hidden nook in the attic, where a dusty box reveals eerie mementos: a lock of hair, a scribbled note in an unfamiliar hand, or a photograph of Daisy marked with a crimson X. Her heart races as she pieces together the implications, wondering if Daisy has vanished in the night or if this is merely a sinister warning of worse to come. The mansion, with its creaking corridors and shadowy corners, becomes a character in itself, amplifying Sasha's growing panic as she fears for her friend's life. Could this discovery point to a larger conspiracy, perhaps involving a figure from Daisy's past who has resurfaced with vengeance in mind? As Sasha grapples with this horrifying news, her resolve to protect those she loves will be tested like never before. Next, we will delve into the electrifying buzz surrounding Port Charles, where seismic shifts are stirring the pot with Kelly Thibos' much-anticipated return as Dr. Britt Westburn and the unexpected news of Josh Kelly's Cody Bell stepping back to a recurring role. From wild speculations about Britt's dramatic reappearance to the heartbreak of Cody's reduced screen time, there's a whirlwind of emotions and questions swirling among fans. Join us as we explore every angle of these game-changing developments, weaving in fresh details, inventive twists, and deeper insights into what's next for these beloved characters in the ever-tumultuous world of General Hospital. Thibos Return, a storm of possibilities for Britt Westburn. The air in Port Charles is crackling with excitement as news breaks that Thibos is set to make a triumphant return to General Hospital in the coming months, igniting a firestorm of speculation about how Dr. Britt Westburn will re-enter the fray. Will she defy the grave, having seemingly perished in 2023 at the hands of Heather Weber's deadly poison-laced hook, through a miraculous intervention by her brilliant mother, Lisa Obrecht, whose medical genius might have concocted a secret antidote? Or could Thibos portray a long-lost twin sister, a doppelganger with her own mysterious agenda, stirring up chaos among those who thought Britt was gone for good? Other tantalizing possibilities include poignant flashbacks tied to the complex saga of Roco Falcone's birth, where Britt's past actions as the surrogate who stole an embryo could resurface to haunt or heal old wounds. There's even whispers of Thibos embodying an entirely new character, perhaps a distant relative of Britt's with uncanny similarities, adding a fresh layer of intrigue to the canvas. Recent nods to Britt, like Cody Bell's nostalgic tale to Molly Lansing Davis about playfully shoving Britt into the Metro Court pool during a heated moment, only fuel the anticipation that her presence, whether in body or spirit, will ripple through Port Charles like a tidal wave. Fans are buzzing with theories, each more thrilling than the last. Could Britt's return be tied to a hidden medical breakthrough at GH? Or might she arrive with a vendetta against those who celebrated her downfall? Whatever form her comeback takes, Thibos herself has teased it as a wild ride, promising that the streets of Port Charles will never be the same once she steps back into the spotlight. Cody Bell's recurring status, a heartbreaking fade-out. In a shocking turn that has left loyal viewers reeling, the June 20, 2025 episode credits revealed that Josh Kelly, who portrays the charming and roguish Cody Bell, has been downgraded to recurring status, signaling a significant reduction in his screen time. This bombshell feels like a personal blow to fans who have grown to adore Cody's rugged charisma and layered backstory, especially at a time when his life in Port Charles is brimming with potential. Just as Cody was weaving himself deeper into the town's fabric, forging a newfound bond with his biological father, Max Scorpio, after years of estrangement, and kindling a tender, blossoming romance with Molly Lansing Davis' decision to sideline him seems inexplicably cruel. The timing couldn't be worse, as his recent entanglement in a risky plot to seduce Ava Jerome on behalf of Christina Corinthos Davis had positioned him at the center of high-stakes drama, with secrets and betrayals lurking around every corner. Could this step back mean Cody is on the brink of a dramatic exit? Perhaps fleeing town under the shadow of Ava's wrath, or a devastating fallout with Molly if their relationship buckles under the weight of his deceptions. Some speculate that the writers might be clearing space for Britt's return, avoiding narrative overlap, but others fear this signals the end of Cody's journey altogether. Picture the heartbreak of a farewell scene at the docks, Cody gazing wistfully at the skyline of Port Charles, a duffel bag slung over his shoulder, as he wrestles with whether to stay and fight for his place or leave his past behind. The uncertainty gnaws at fans who can't fathom why such a dynamic character would be benched just when his story is heating up. Britt and Cody, a friendship at risk of being lost. One of the most cherished elements of both Britt and Cody's time on General Hospital was their electric friendship. A delightful blend of mischief and camaraderie that lit up the screen with every shared smirk and scheme. Their playful antics, whether plotting harmless pranks or confiding in each other during vulnerable moments, become a fan-favorite dynamic, a beacon of light-hearted fun amidst Port Charles' darker dramas. So, the bitter irony of Cody's fade to recurring status just as Britt prepares to storm back into town feels like a missed opportunity of epic proportions. Imagine the potential of their reunion, Britt, whether resurrected or reimagined, strolling into Kelly's diner only to lock eyes with Cody. A flood of memories and unspoken regrets passing between them as they pick up right where they left off, bantering over coffee about old times and new troubles. Their bond could have served as a powerful anchor for Britt's return storyline, grounding her in familiar territory while allowing Cody to shine as her steadfast ally. Perhaps Cody could play a pivotal role in uncovering the truth behind Britt's reappearance, risking everything to protect her from hidden enemies who orchestrated her supposed demise. Yet, with Cody's screen time dwindling, fans are left wondering if their iconic bestie banter will be relegated to mere nostalgia rather than reignited for fresh adventures. Could a last-minute twist made Cody stumbling upon a clue about Britt's survival during a late-night stakeout pull him back into the spotlight? Or will their chemistry be sidelined indefinitely? The thought of such a vibrant connection fading into the background is a bitter pill for viewers to swallow. The bigger picture: how Britt's return impacts Port Charles. As speculation about Britt Westburn's return reaches fever pitch, it's impossible not to consider how her presence, whether as herself, a twin, or a ghostly echo in flashbacks, will reshape the intricate tapestry of relationships and rivalries in Port Charles. If Britt is indeed alive, might she return with a score to settle, targeting Heather Weber or others who played a role in her apparent death? Perhaps aligning with unexpected allies like Jason Morgan to exact her revenge. Her re-emergence could also reopen old wounds tied to the Corinthos family, especially if her arc intersects with Michael Corinthos' recent custody victory over Avery or Sonny Corinthos' ongoing battles to maintain power amidst mounting enemies. Imagine Britt stepping into the middle of a heated Corinthos family gathering, her mere appearance sending shockwaves through Sonny, Carly, and Michael as buried secrets about past alliances or betrayals come to light. Alternatively, if Thibos Return manifests as flashbacks linked to Rocco Falcone's birth, it could deepen the emotional turmoil for Lulu Spencer and Dante Falconeri, forcing them to confront painful chapters of their history while explaining the truth to a curious Rocco. There's even a chance that Britt's storyline might tie into the broader medical mysteries at General Hospital, perhaps involving a covert experiment or a hidden Obricht family legacy that explains her survival. Each possibility carries the weight of transforming Port Charles' power dynamics, but the glaring question remains: where does Cody fit into this seismic shift? With his reduced role, will he be merely a bystander to Britt's chaos, or could a daring plot twist like Cody being the first to spot Britt in hiding assert his relevance? Fans are holding their breath, hoping against hope that the writers find a way to weave these two compelling characters back into each other's orbits. Fan reactions and future hopes: a call for Cody's comeback. The dual news of Kelly Thibos' return and Josh Kelly's step back has ignited a passionate response from the General Hospital fandom, with social media platforms buzzing with equal parts excitement and frustration. Loyal viewers are flooding comment sections with pleas to bring Cody back full-time, voicing their disappointment over losing such a multi-dimensional character just as Britt's comeback promises to shake up the status quo. Many recall fond memories of Britt and Cody's scenes together, from their mischievous antics at local haunts to the quiet moments of genuine support, and argue that their friendship deserves a second act, especially now. Some fans propose imaginative solutions, like Cody embarking on a temporary out-of-town arc, perhaps investigating a lead on Britt's whereabouts at Liesl Obricht's behest only to return with pivotal information that reinstates him as a central figure. Others dream of a dramatic confrontation where Cody, defying his recurring status, crashes a major storyline event tied to Britt, proving his indispensable value to the Port Charles narrative. The overarching sentiment is clear: while Britt's wild ride is eagerly awaited, it shouldn't come at the expense of Cody's presence. Will the powers behind GH hear this outcry and craft a path for Cody to reclaim his spotlight, perhaps through a renewed bond with Britt that defies all odds? Only time will tell, but the collective hope is for a resolution that honors both characters' legacies. Next, we will uncover the intense power struggle brewing in Port Charles as the mayoral race takes center stage, pitting the beloved Laura Collins against the dubious Ezra Boyle in a battle that could reshape the town's future. With shady alliances, potential election tampering, and the ever-looming shadow of mob drama, this election is far from a straightforward contest. Join us as we dive into the escalating tensions, explore newly invented twists, and expand on the key dynamics with vivid details, painting a gripping picture of what's at stake for Laura, Ezra, and the residents of Port Charles who stand to lose or gain everything in this high-stakes drama. The mayoral race ignites. Laura Collins faces a formidable threat. In the heart of Port Charles, the political arena is ablaze with anticipation as the mayoral race heats up, and all eyes are on Laura Collins, the incumbent mayor whose tenure has been marked by compassion and resilience. However, Looming on the horizon is Ezra Boyle, a candidate whose slick demeanor and questionable ethics have many residents whispering about potential underhanded tactics to secure victory. During a recent candid moment on the Thursday, July 3rd episode, Laura shared a heartfelt conversation with her daughter, Lulu Spencer, at the family's cozy dining room table. The weight of the campaign evident in her furrowed brow. Lulu expressed deep concern over the mob turmoil tied to Sonny Corinthos, fearing that Laura's association with such chaos could tarnish her reputation and cause her poll numbers to plummet. With a mix of urgency and frustration, Lulu urged her mother to take a bolder stance, perhaps publicly denouncing Sonny's influence to distance herself from the drama and bolster her chances against Ezra. The stakes couldn't be higher, as the thought of Ezra ascending to power sends shivers down the spine of Port Charles' most virtuous citizens, who see him as a wolf in sheep's clothing, ready to exploit the town for personal gain. Could Laura's past decisions and alliances come back to haunt her, or will her proven track record as a leader shine through in the face of this menacing challenge? Laura's legacy versus Ezra's ambition, a town divided. Laura Collins has long been a pillar of strength in Port Charles, her leadership defined by tireless efforts to protect and uplift the community. From spearheading initiatives for better healthcare at General Hospital to advocating for safer streets, her popularity among key figures like Sonny Corinthos despite the complications and Tracy Quartermain speaks volumes about her impact, with many believing she has the election in the bag if public sentiment is any indicator. Yet, in the unpredictable world of daytime drama, nothing is ever certain, and the whisper of a shocking upset lingers in the air like a storm cloud ready to burst. While a victory for Laura would be a satisfying conclusion, reinforcing hope and stability, an Ezra Boyle win would unleash pandemonium, particularly for fan-favorite characters who thrive under Laura's protective governance. Imagine the ripple effects: Sonny facing increased pressure to leave town under a hostile administration, or Tracy grappling with bureaucratic roadblocks to her business dealings at ELQ. The contrast between Laura's genuine care for Port Charles and Ezra's apparent hunger for control paints a stark picture of the future zone of unity, the other of division. As election day approaches, hidden forces may tip the scales in ways no one could anticipate, leaving residents to wonder if their voices will truly be heard at the polls. Ezra Boyle and Drew Kane, a dangerous alliance plots in the shadows. Ezra Boyle is no stranger to cutting corners, and with the cunning Drew Kane as his right-hand man, this duo forms a formidable threat to the integrity of the mayoral race. Their partnership reeks of opportunism, with Ezra's slimy charm as a seasoned politician blending seamlessly with Drew's deep pockets and thirst for influence, creating a power couple poised to do whatever it takes to oust Laura. Whispers around town suggest they are already hatching a devious plan to rig the election, leveraging every resource at their disposal to ensure a landslide victory. Picture late-night meetings in dimly lit backrooms of Port Charles' seedier establishments, where Ezra and Drew pore over maps of voting districts, calculating how to manipulate the outcome. Their scheme might involve bribing low-level officials to look the other way or exploiting loopholes in the electoral process to sway undecided voters through targeted misinformation campaigns. Their ultimate goal is crystal clear: to edge Sonny Corinthos out of town for good, stripping him of his stronghold and paving the way for their own dominance. With Drew's financial clout funding these illicit efforts and Ezra's insider knowledge of the political machine guiding their every move, their plot could unfold with terrifying precision, leaving Laura and her supporters blindsided by a betrayal of democratic trust. Jen Sidwell's involvement, a high-tech twist in the election game. Adding another layer of intrigue to this already murky contest is the potential involvement of Jen Sidwell, a shadowy figure with ties to the WSB and a reputation for acquiring cutting-edge tools for nefarious purposes. Rumors swirling through Port Charles underground suggest that Sidwell might be drawn into Ezra and Drew's orbit, offering a sleek, state-of-the-art device capable of altering the election's outcome with surgical accuracy. Could this be a sophisticated hacking tool designed to infiltrate voting machines, silently flipping votes in Ezra's favor under the guise of a glitch? Or perhaps it's a covert system for stuffing ballot boxes with forged votes, delivered in the dead of night to precincts across town. Imagine Sidwell, cloaked in secrecy, meeting Ezra under the cover of darkness at an abandoned warehouse near the docks, handing over a briefcase containing the key to their victory while smirking at the chaos to come. If successful, their collaboration could render the election a sham, with no one the wiser until the results are announced. The sheer audacity of such a plan raises the stakes exponentially, as Laura's team remains unaware of the technological treachery that could steal her rightful place as mayor. Will a whistleblower emerge from the shadows to expose this conspiracy, or are Port Charles residents doomed to fall under the control of a corrupt regime? Laura's shocking defeat. Polls mislead as disaster looms. As the big election night draws near, Laura Collins and her supporters might find solace in early polls showing her comfortably ahead, with town hall meetings packed with cheering citizens praising her dedication. However, in the deceptive world of politics, polls can be a mirage, lulling even the most vigilant into a false sense of security. Picture the scene at Laura's campaign headquarters on the eve of the vote, volunteers buzzing with optimism as they sip coffee and tally favorable numbers, dismissing any lingering doubts as mere nerves. Yet, beneath this veneer of confidence, a quiet dread festers. Could Ezra's silent machinations be skewing the true picture? When the final tallies roll in, Laura might stand before a crowd of stunned loyalists at the Port Charles Civic Center, her face paling as the unimaginable happens. Ezra is declared the winner by a suspiciously wide margin. The betrayal stings even deeper if evidence later surfaces of tampered results, leaving Laura reeling from the loss of her position and grappling with how to reclaim her voice in a town suddenly hostile to her ideals. The aftermath paints a bleak picture, with Ezra, Drew, and possibly Sidwell reveling in their ill-gotten triumph, while Laura's allies scramble to make sense of this catastrophic turn. Will the shock of defeat paralyze Laura, or ignite a fire to fight back against the injustice that stripped her of her hard-earned role? The fallout, a new era of chaos for Port Charles. With Ezra Boyle potentially seizing the mayoral seat through deceit, a monumental storyline looms on the horizon, promising to plunge Port Charles into an era of unprecedented turmoil. Under Ezra's rule, backed by Drew's ruthless ambition and Sidwell's shadowy influence, the town could become a chessboard for their personal agendas, with fan favorites like Sonny Corinthos facing exile and Tracy Quartermain battling policies designed to cripple her family's legacy. Visualize Ezra's first day in office, strutting into City Hall with a predatory grin, issuing edicts that tighten the noose around Sonny's operations while Drew secures lucrative contracts for his own ventures under the guise of urban renewal. Laura, meanwhile, might retreat to her family home, surrounded by Lulu and other loved ones who vow to stand by her, their conversations heavy with regret and determination as they plot a way forward. Could a brave soul among Laura's inner circle, perhaps a tech-savvy newcomer with a knack for uncovering digital footprints, step forward to launch an investigation into the election's irregularities, risking everything to expose the truth? Or will it be too late, with Ezra's grip on power already ironclad, leaving the good guys of Port Charles to adapt to a grim new reality? The battle for the soul of the town has only just begun, and every resident will feel the tremors of this seismic shift in leadership.